Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily Past, where we dive deep into fascinating historical events, untold stories, and cultural exchanges that shaped our world. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an exciting historical journey with us. Now, have you ever wondered how one civilization can influence another for over 2000 years without firing a single shot or sending a single soldier? Sounds pretty unbelievable, right? Well, today, we're diving into a fascinating chapter of history where India culturally dominated China for more than 2 millennia. And all of this was done through the power of ideas, art, religion, and science. So sit back, relax, and let's explore how India managed to leave an indelible mark on China, influencing its culture, religion, and knowledge systems in ways that are still felt today. Alright, let's rewind way back to thousands of years ago, somewhere around the first few centuries BCE. Imagine this. The ancient world was connected by, well, this vast network of trade routes we now call the Silk Road. And these weren't just any trade routes. They didn't just carry silk, spices, and precious stones from one side of the world to the other. No, they carried something much more valuable: ideas. It's pretty mind-blowing, right? I mean, we're talking about an ancient network that spanned continents. You know, India and China were two of the biggest civilizations of the time, but they were separated by massive mountain ranges and deserts, which in those days must have felt like the entire world between them. And yet these trade routes acted as this bridge that allowed, well, all kinds of people, merchants, travelers, and even missionaries to move between them. This was the place where cultural exchange could happen. And it didn't just stop with goods. Oh no, it was the perfect environment for, spreading ideas, philosophies, and beliefs that could completely change societies. You might be wondering, what did India bring to China in this massive cultural exchange? Well, let me tell you, probably the most significant cultural import was something that, to this day, continues to impact millions of people around the world: Buddhism. Okay, now let's dive into this idea of Buddhism for a second. You see, Buddhism wasn't just any religion, it was something really revolutionary. It was founded by Siddhartha Gautama, a man who, after a profound spiritual awakening, came to be known as the Buddha. And by the 1st century CE, his teachings began spreading far beyond India's borders. Now, what made Buddhism so, well, different from everything else? Well, it offered a totally new perspective on life, suffering, and most importantly, the path to enlightenment. Think about it, at a time when many parts of the world were focused on rituals and worship of gods, Buddhism was all about inner peace, compassion, and, finding peace within yourself. So here's the kicker: Indian monks, scholars, and even traders started heading towards China. And here's the really cool part, they didn't come with swords, they didn't come with armies. No, instead they brought something much more powerful: scrolls, scriptures, and their philosophical teachings. These monks weren't there to conquer or, fight. Their mission was to share what they had learned, ideas that could change the very fabric of Chinese culture. And what happened next? Well, Buddhism didn't just stay as a foreign religion. It gradually became deeply integrated into Chinese life and thought. It spread like wildfire. And by the time the Tang dynasty came around in the 7th century, Buddhism wasn't just another religion in China. No, it had transformed into a cultural force, one that influenced everything from politics to art. You see, it wasn't just the philosophical teachings that took root. The Buddhist way of life, the concept of karma, and ideas about rebirth, they became a core part of Chinese worldview, shaping how people thought about life, death, and everything in between. Okay, now let's zoom in on the Tang dynasty, which lasted from 618 to 907 CE. This period was, honestly, a golden age for cultural exchange between India and China. It's like everything seemed to align perfectly for this to be the peak of India's influence over China. During the Tang dynasty, India's influence wasn't just limited to, religion or philosophy. No, it was literally everywhere, from art to literature and even architecture. If you could think of a cultural aspect, India's touch was there. Picture this: towering statues of the Buddha, beautiful, intricate carvings, and magnificent Buddhist monasteries popping up all across China. You could literally walk through cities and see the presence of Indian art at every corner. Indian iconography, the symbols and visual styles began to appear in Chinese temples. It was this fusion of the two cultures that created something, well, really unique. And you've probably heard of the Longmen Grottos, right? These are cave temples in China that, to this day, stand as a perfect example of Indian Buddhist art making its way into Chinese culture. The detailed sculptures and paintings in these caves show the heavy influence of Indian Buddhist traditions. But it wasn't just about the physical structures. Oh no, it went much deeper than that. Buddhism began to shape how Chinese people thought about some of the most profound concepts: the divine, the afterlife, and, well, their place in the universe. It wasn't just about worship anymore. It was about understanding life itself, the nature of suffering, and how one could achieve inner peace. So yeah, during the Tang dynasty, India didn't just send Buddhism to China. It sent a whole new way of thinking about the world, and it really took root in a big way. But hold up, India's influence wasn't just religious or spiritual. Far from it. It went, way beyond that. India's knowledge systems, from mathematics to astronomy, even medicine, had a major impact on Chinese civilization. Let's start with mathematics. Indian scholars were way ahead of their time. One of the biggest contributions came from a mathematician named Brahmagupta. He is known for developing some groundbreaking concepts, like the concept of zero and the decimal system. And believe it or not, these ideas eventually made their way into Chinese mathematical thought. Think about it, by introducing the number zero into the system, it completely changed how Chinese scholars approached numbers and calculations. It was a game changer. And then there's astronomy. Now, India's understanding of the stars, planets, and the overall workings of the cosmos was incredibly advanced. Their calendar systems were based on accurate calculations, which the Chinese eventually adopted. Indian methods for tracking the movements of the celestial bodies were so precise that Chinese astronomers began using these techniques to better track the stars and planets. In fact, Chinese astronomy started adopting Indian models for their own calendars. This was huge, because a reliable calendar was vital for everything from farming to religious rituals. The influence was so deep that Chinese scholars even began to make their own discoveries, using Indian methods as their foundation. But, it doesn't stop there. Indian contributions to medicine also had an impact, especially in the area of herbal medicine. While China had its own medical traditions, the exchange of knowledge meant that Indian remedies and practices, such as those found in Ayurveda, began to influence Chinese medical thought. The exchange wasn't just about what India gave to China, it was more like this shared growth of ideas, where both civilizations learned and built on each other's knowledge. Alright, so let's dive into something really fascinating: literature and poetry. You see, India's influence didn't just end with art, religion, and philosophy. It made its way into the very stories and poems that the Chinese told for centuries. Take, for example, the Jataka tales. These are ancient Indian stories about the past lives of the Buddha, showing his journey through different incarnations. The moral lessons and philosophical insights embedded in these tales really struck a chord in China. In fact, these tales were widely read and had a lasting impact on Chinese storytelling traditions. The themes of compassion, rebirth, and spiritual growth found in these stories influenced how Chinese writers started to think about the nature of life and morality in their own literary works. But that's not all. Chinese poetry, which let me tell you was already deeply rooted in tradition, was also touched by Indian ideas. Some of the greatest poets of the Tang dynasty, like Li Bai, were directly inspired by the spiritual themes that originated in India. And if you read their poetry closely, you can really feel that influence. There's this deep, almost mystical quality to their work that reflects Buddhist concepts, like the search for inner peace and understanding the impermanence of life. Li Bai's poems, for example, often contain a sense of, a longing for spiritual enlightenment and harmony with nature. It's not just about the beauty of the landscape, it's about understanding a deeper, more transcendent connection with the universe. That kind of thinking, well, it's very much rooted in Indian philosophical ideas. So yeah, India didn't just shape Chinese religion or art. It also had a profound influence on Chinese literature and poetry, leaving a legacy that would continue to inspire generations. But of course, as with all periods of history, things change. I mean, that's just how it goes, right? As China faced significant invasions from the Mongols in the 13th century, the cultural landscape began to shift. On top of that, you had the rise of Neo-Confucianism, which became, well, the dominant ideology of the time. And with all these shifts, the direct influence of Indian culture started to slowly decline. You see, Buddhism, which had flourished for centuries in China, started to lose some of its prominence. It wasn't that people stopped practicing Buddhism, but as Confucianism gained more ground, it became more aligned with the state's official ideologies. Confucianism was all about, social harmony, ethics, and family values, and those ideas began to replace the spiritual and sometimes individualistic focus of Buddhism. But here's the thing, while Indian influence might have waned in certain areas, it never completely disappeared. The imprint of Indian thought remained, well, deeply embedded in Chinese culture. The Buddhist temples, the teachings of the Buddha, even those mathematical concepts like zero and the decimal system, they all became so woven into the very fabric of Chinese society that, even as Confucianism took center stage, you could still see traces of Indian influence everywhere. Buddhist art, architecture, and iconography continued to thrive in many parts of China, and the ideas about compassion and the cycle of life, those ideas continued to influence not just religion but also Chinese philosophy, literature, and everyday life. So, while Indian influence might have shifted over time, it didn't vanish. It's kind of like a river that, over time, carves out a permanent mark on the land even if the current changes direction. So what can we take away from this incredible story? India didn't need to send an army to influence China. Instead, it used ideas, religion, and intellectual exchange to shape China's culture and way of life for over 2000 years. India's soft power, its ability to influence through culture and thought, has arguably been one of the most profound in history. And as we look at China today, you can still see the echoes of that influence. Buddhism, a religion that was once foreign to China, is now deeply ingrained in Chinese culture. Indian philosophical ideas about life, death, and spirituality continue to resonate with people across the globe, including in China. It's a testament to the power of ideas. And that's a reminder for all of us. Sometimes it's not about the strength of your armies, but the strength of your culture and your ability to share it with the world. And that's all for today's episode of The Daily Past. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into India's cultural influence on China. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, share this with your friends, and let us know in the comments. What do you think was the most surprising part of this history? Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Thanks for tuning in to The Daily Past. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring the world with us.